by the way, the picture that you see of that Alma Waterways ship is not the Ama Christina. Do you know why it's not the Ama Christina?
Because it hasn't been built yet.
Correct.
I win. Ding, ding, ding.
They're building the ship.
You got the bell first.
It's just for us, right, Sherry? They're building it specially for us.
Yes.
Well, not really. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to get started now. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate it. We're going to start on the nose. We got a lot of information to cover. Today's mission is to kind of go day by day through the Enchanting Rhine Itinerary, which has been updated, enhanced, made even more special for 2017. So it's different from, like, if you were to go online now and look at the 2015, 2016 itinerary at the AMA site, this has some enhancements, some differences. So, but most importantly, it is my pleasure, our pleasure, to introduce a very, very great long-time travel industry friend and travel writer, and among the USA Today top travel writers, can I say of all times? Sherry, introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Sherry Kennedy. Thank you for joining us, and everything Stuart said is true. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to talk about our I can never say this, our Rhine River cruise coming up, and go up through the itinerary from start to finish and talk about what we're going to be seeing. Stuart's got some wonderful slides to show, so I can explain things that we're going to be doing, places we will see and walk and taste and drink and sip. So there's quite a bit going on, and whenever you're ready, Stuart, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, I just want to remind everybody that if you have a question or a comment, you can type it in at any time, and I'll be monitoring that little question box there. Our goal is to do this in about 20 minutes or so, and then hang around for question and answers after, and then afterwards we'll tell you what's coming up next. But before we start, I'd like to I'd like to propose a toast to you, Sherry, and to you, Kimberly, and to everybody who is joining us, because I don't know if we mentioned, but wine and beer are free-flowing and included and exquisitely
yummy
delivered on board our river cruise ship. So,
and they feature whatever region we're passing through. They feature a local winery or the local variety of wine, different varietals depending on where we are.
Yeah, and I know you've been on AMA many times as well, Sherry, and also it's not only the wine that is regional, but the menus are regional because they provision locally, and every menu changes so that we get a sample of the local fare, which is really cool. All right, here we go. The first thing I want to do, the first slide I want to show, however, is the average temperatures, because our friend Judy asked last week, hey, what are the average temperatures? So here you go. I looked it up, and you can see what they were in 2015 for most of the cities, and then you could also see what the average high and average low is historically. So as far as I'm concerned, we're not going to sit on a beach in the Caribbean. We're going to be touring, and I know, Sherry, you'll probably agree with me, that is really pristine touring
perfect
temperatures.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and we'll talk eventually. I think Stuart or advise everybody how to pack for this trip, what we should bring, what we shouldn't bring, what's furnished by AMA Waterways. So that will help everybody, answer questions about packing. Which for spring or fall, you really have to have a little bit of insight to do that.
Yep, good point. Yep, we'll help you out there. We'll take care
of that.
I see Pete and Carol typed in. Hi, Stuart Kimberly. Cheers. Cheers. Hopefully you're having a glass of wine, too. All right, here we go. Let's dive in, because if you don't already know, we're going to be flying into Zurich. We do hope that you'll be joining us on the pre-land before the cruise, so you have the complete experience. So we're going to take you through it day by day, and so start us off in Zurich, Sherry.
Well, you probably make your own flight arrangements, or through AMA Waterways, as we're hoping you will do, because then everybody's kept together and we know where everybody is and when you're arriving. And we'll get into Zurich, and you're a little bit tired because of the 6-hour time difference, so we'll have the day to just relax and unwind. Everyone will come in a little bit different. You know, some won't be so tired, so you can go out and stroll around. The hotels will be determined shortly, and walking maps and activities for that first day when you're sort of, you know, adjusting to the time. It's critical just not to overdo it. And then the next day is when there will be a guided city tour provided by AMA Waterways land hosts. I got to stop using my hands. It's my half Italian side.
Okay.
And,
makes you look Italian. I do it too.
And then you can take the city tour. Evenings are free. Who knows what's going to be happening for dinner in Zurich? There may be something going on. Then all your meals are included, by the way, too. So, oh no, we're just going to sit and have dinner.
Yeah. Well, on the land, we're gonna finalize to see what meals are included. I definitely know that the breakfasts are included at the hotel, which is a magnificent buffet, and I do believe that we do get a city tour provided in Zurich and Lucerne that we're going to switch to in a second. But after that, the meals are on our own. So, but we can't tell you about the surprise that's coming because that wouldn't be a surprise.
Then it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah.
There's no surprise, is there? I didn't think so.
What?
Anyway, going back to Zurich, so you'll have one full day. You've recuperated, you've rested, you've done the city tour. You know, you can walk around and do whatever you want. And the next day, you wake up and be ready to go and board the bus to Lucerne, which is known for its beautiful lake. There's the picture. That's part of it with the swans. Once we get to Lucerne, it's fairly similar to how the arrival into Zurich went, where you'll get a little bit of an overview as the bus, you know, weaves through town. Check into the hotel, grab some lunch if you'd like, find a little cafe if you want to do that, and then just walk around for the rest of the afternoon. The next day is a full tour day if you want. One of the optional tours, which I'm assuming will be offered because it was a couple of years ago and it was this year, is the Rhine Falls. It's one of the largest waterfalls, and I don't know the exact statistics on it, but I had people that went there. I have people, and they went there last year, and they said it was magnificent. You do a little boat tour on Lake Lucerne, and have some wine, and again, you can stop at your leisure and have a cafe lunch, cafe snacks, and all that. And then after the second night in Lucerne, the next morning you'll board the bus. And by the way, AMA Waterways, their motor coaches have a little bit more room. You're not crammed in. They're
beautiful.
They're beautiful motor coaches. Because you were just there, you know. They're really nice.
Yes, luxurious.
And then head to Basel, which is the most accessible place for river cruises on the Rhine to begin, to go downstream. And it's really kind of weird because, just real quick, the Rhine originates up in the Alps, and one side flows through Basel over to the North Sea towards Amsterdam, which is what we're doing, and the other side flows into the Danube, the Main and the Danube, out to the Black Sea. So we're going down, both are going downstream, but that's where we're going, downriver. It gets confusing because sometimes you don't remember, and we also will go through a series of locks, which are fun to do.
Locks
but here's
are so
Basel.
much fun.
Yeah.
Aren't they amazing?
The locks are so much fun.
Yeah. Locks are really cool.
Yeah.
It's actually really neat to go. So if we're going down, then we'll be lowered, which is just, it's really cool to watch it happen. Yeah.
Yep. And it's good that, you know, the going down ones are a little bit easier because it takes less time for the water to drain than the water to fill. So you can get through the locks a little quicker too, which is kind of nice. After, you know, X amount, you're ready to go through. So this is Basel. This is
Pretty.
Yeah, and this is the Old Town area. And the bus will take us on a bus tour through Basel when we arrive after our morning departure from Lucerne, and then we will board the Ama Christina, correct? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll board the Ama Christina, get settled in our rooms, and depending on what time it is, I would imagine there will either be snacks or some kind of welcome aboard fare to munch on, if it's not a sit-down lunch. And I'm not sure. I'm not positive. And then really it starts to begin. We're on board. Dinner will be served. It is a welcome aboard dinner, so you don't have to dress up. Just something kind of nice, but not fancy. Nothing's fancy. It's just kind of nice. And and then we set sail overnight. Yep. And then in the morning we will wake up in Breisach.
Breisach. Yeah, Breisach.
We'll all be talking. And it's Breisach is a neat little town. It's pretty cosmopolitan. There's a beautiful bridge. I'm not sure if that's next, but we'll show you a picture of the bridge. That's as you approach Breisach. And this was in spring of year before last. And the swans are all out. You can walk across this bridge. It's a pretty high suspension bridge. If you want to take a walk through town, that's one of the options. And hang on one quick second, Stuart.
Yep.
Here we go. This is the town of Riekweer, or Riekweer, if you want to say it like that. When you're in Breisach, you have a choice. You can do a walking tour of the old town, which will take you over the bridge and through those old mansions that you just saw. And then you can also go to a town called Freiburg, which has, what do they have? They've got another a sandstone cathedral is what they're noted for. But I would suggest going to this town of Riekweer, which is a huge wine producer in the area. And as you can see, it's beautiful. This was in November that I took these pictures. The other ones were spring. And you just stroll through the town. You stop for a wine tasting. And if it's not run by AMA, there are vendors standing all along the street with a big wine barrel, and they have the glasses set out. And of course, they offer it to you, and they ship home. They will ship for free, not for free, but they will ship, which is the whole goal. And you can stop and get some pretzels, but I highly recommend the Riekweer tour rather. I mean, you can walk through cities. And Breisach is lovely if you don't want a tour, if you don't like getting on motor coaches. But this is a very special place.
Yeah. And just want to remind everybody that these tours we're talking about here are included. It's just a matter of picking which one you want to do, and even not only which one you want to do, but if you want what level, because oftentimes they say, do you want the slow walker or the fast walker, for instance? So you have a choice. There's even a choice within a choice in many cases.
That's right. And then after we board the bus, get back to Breisach, and off we go to Strasbourg,
France,
in the heart of Alsace-Lorraine. So if you like Rieslings, if you like Alsatian wines, if you like the white wines, you can have, you usually think there's not that many. There's hundreds and hundreds of different, well, not hundreds and hundreds, but probably close to that, of white wines to try all through this area. And
these are your pictures too, right? I'm showing. I want to make sure everybody knows. Okay. So I'll tell you. We'll tell you when these are Sherry's pictures. Sherry, these are your photos, I do believe, right?
Yep. Except for the Zurich and Lucerne. The rest are all mine.
Right. Yep.
Strasbourg there's flowers everywhere, especially in the springtime. They're have these huge hanging, you can see, filled with daisies and all sorts of springtime flowers hanging from the balconies, their railings, their windowsills. And Strasbourg also is a series of canals, as you can see here. This cheese, more cheese, and tarts, and what are those guys in the front? I can't see it, Stuart. Anyway, it's all good food, and you could just wander. There we go. You can just wander around and get a slice of whatever you want to go. Bring some back to the ship if you'd like. And that's another thing. Also,
quiche.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you purchase wine on shore, you're more than welcome to bring it back on board the ship, and you can bring it into the dining room with no corkage fee.
That's nice. That's important news for my mom because she's a heavy-duty wine drinker. I'm kidding. Got you again, Mom.
And this is just one of the small streets in Strasbourg. One of the most charming areas, and I love walking through. It's called Le Petit France, the Little France. And there's this tiny narrow streets and with little shops, and it's just fun to walk around. And a lot of them are contemporary, designer shops, but they're in little bitty buildings about like this. So it's really pretty. And there's a lot of whimsy going on. If you look at the very top, peeking out of the window there,
yes,
there's a stork.
Yep.
See the stork? That's a legendary bird for Strasbourg. Did you just finish your wine?
Perhaps.
And so you'll see. Thank you, Kimberly. You'll see storks everywhere. Stencils of storks, statues of storks. So you go home with a stork souvenir. Yeah, and there's little shoes back down there.
Yeah, there were shoes.
Now, on the same day that we visit Strasbourg, we will also include Cal, which is divided. On one side of the Rhine, you have Strasbourg. The other side is Cal. So basically, you can walk across the bridge and be in France or be in Germany, with like one foot on one side, one on the other. That's sort of what, it's a cute thing to do. And have you take your picture. It's considered, it's just a really nice town. And actually, Cal is a big, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a big area for American expats. I don't know why, but they have a large community. So it's kind of an interesting factoid about Cal that I was surprised to find out. So I'm looking forward. I have never been to Cal. So I always just hang out in Strasbourg, but I'm looking forward to going over there just to explore and see, if there is as much American influence there as I have read about. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. We get to check it out all for the first time together.
Yeah. And here we come to Mannheim. And as Stuart and I were talking earlier, Mannheim has not been included on their Rhine cruises that I've been on. It's new for 2017, so the tours are being formulated as we speak. And as soon as we find out what they are going to be, we will pass the word right along.
Yeah, it's going to be brand new. We're excited to see, and everybody, just so you know, we're very, very close contact with AMA about the itinerary because we're among the first to actually take out the charter space. So and this is one of the itineraries that has some changes. So they're working diligently to get it ready for us. In fact, when we first announced the river cruise, the ship had a different name. No, it wasn't. It was I don't remember now. In any case, I'm hungry because that's what I say all the time. I'm hungry.
Oh.
Bad. Ooh, but it's now Ama Christina. So it's fun to be so far out, yet it's really not terribly far away. But we'll know more about Mannheim soon. Castles. This is what we're going to see along the way. Tell us about what we're looking at.
Okay, after we leave Mannheim, we enter what's called the Rhine River Gorge, which is also called the Romantic Rhine, with dozens and dozens of castles and ruins and fortresses that are crumbling. Some have been reconstructed into youth hostels. This that you're seeing on your screen right now is Reinstein Castle. And an interesting thing that was pointed out, which you will hear again, if you look at the tower, the turreted tower on the right, and I don't know if, Stuart, if you can enlarge this, probably not, but it looks like there's a little gray basket hanging off of the turret.
Yes.
I see it.
In front of the sky. That's actually a little cage.
Oh.
And if someone was not nice, they would be punished by being put into that little cage and hung out there until, they froze to death. Because
Dad, you better behave.
Mark, you better behave.
The winter winds come barreling down the river gorge, and they wouldn't last very long. And this one is Marksburg Castle, if I'm correct. Another one we'll see. It's about a 3.5-hour stretch of the most gorgeous scenery and fairy tale castles that you will ever see. It's just remarkable.
I was reading about Marksburg Castle, and it's really famous. It's one of the very few that stayed together, that's not crumbling like the rest, and is in magnificent condition. It's really an icon.
It is. So it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yep.
And it's funny about
I'm looking for somebody hanging off a basket here, being punished.
That medieval. But you don't know who's. People have purchased these castles too. Some foreign investors, and some are hotels. Some are kept in the castle fashion, so you can tour them. But then we leave there and we go to cute little Rudesheim. This is one of my favorite cities. These are not, however, one of my favorite rides because I don't like. But Rudesheim is famous for its wineries, as this whole region really is. And you can take a cable car ride to the winery, or you can go to this weird little museum called Siegfried's Music Cabinet Museum. It's one of the largest collections anywhere of mechanical music boxes. And this is, they take you through, I was there at night once, and it was the creepiest thing I've ever done. But it was great because it was moody, and you have these magnificent, some music boxes can fit, like this big, and then you've got these monsters like this one, and all throughout, it's a great little tour, and it's included. This is the outside of it. It's an old car, obviously. And you just wander through, up the stairs, and then on the way back, you can walk through town, and as you can see, it was drizzling the day I was there, but that didn't keep anybody inside. You just duck in and out of the shelters. It's beautiful. And then there's more wineries.
And wine. Those are vineyards up there.
That's the vineyards, yes. And you can go those rickety little cable cars. I don't know. But people love it, and when you get to the top, of course, there's a tasting and everything else. And when the ship docks in Rudesheim, it's a very short walk to get to the downtown. The pictures where you just saw was Siegfried's Museum. But if you don't feel like walking, or if you just rather hop on this little trolley, this picks us up at the ship and scoots around through the little roads and takes us right up to Siegfried's Museum.
Cool.
So, and then it's a downhill walk after that. I included this because I thought it was cute.
Nine.
They love their dogs in Germany. All over Europe, they love their dogs. But what better way to get the point across, right? Nine.
Yeah, and Cologne. I've been to Cologne. It's magnificent. Wow.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing about it? You were telling me earlier.
My favorite thing about Cologne, my second favorite thing was the chocolate factory, of course, which which is right there. I also bought a jacket there. I bought a winter jacket. It's a really cosmopolitan city. It's really beautiful. I just remember having, I just felt just so at ease, just walking around, going in shops, going in pubs. It was really delightful.
And it's very convenient because you can dock very close to the city center. Just across the promenade. And of course, they're known for their special beer called, Cohen, I can never say it, K-O-L-N. And Kolsch is the beer that they brew there. And no one else in the entire country is allowed to brew what they brew in Cologne. So it's pretty interesting. Did you have a
this was my favorite. This was my number one favorite thing. The pictures don't do it justice. This cathedral you'll tell us about now. I mean, speechless just seeing it in pictures, but seeing it up close, it's mind-boggling. The enormity of it and the level of detail is phenomenal.
The detail is incredible, and it's a very short walk from where the ship docks to get there. It's one of the few cathedrals of this size that had no. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I remember from the tour, it was not damaged in World War II. So it's preserved beautifully. And then on the inside, did you see the big gold sarcophagus?
Yeah. Oh, I went inside. It's
it's supposed to contain the relics, the bones of the three wise men.
Huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is, who knew that walking in, that they actually had the bones, and they had been carried there from Israel, I guess, or whatever, Canaan, or wherever that was.
Wow.
But it's a beautiful. You can go down into the crypts in the basement, so it's spectacular to tour, just like you said. And then all around that whole neighborhood, there are cafes and pubs. There's a Chicago steakhouse, go figure, and all sorts of shopping.
And Lindt chocolate.
Chocolate.
There's the Lindt Chocolate Museum. You can tour, or you can shop, or as I like to do, you can eat. So there's a beautiful cafe. Huge. Did you stop in and get your chocolate cake or chocolate?
I absolutely did. In fact, I brought chocolate home for you, and it's right by the ship. So the chocolate factory is located right on the river, right on the Rhine. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Very short walk. And then right in between the chocolate museum and where the ship's docked is a place to get French fries. So
Go figure.
Two of my favorite things, French fries and chocolate.
I know, isn't that great? And then stop for a beer on the way back. So, yep. Well, and that pretty much wraps up the 6.5 days, and then we depart Cologne in the evening, and we head to Amsterdam, and the conclusion of the trip, sort of. There's always a fabulous captain's gala dinner. As you can see, I just took a picture of the napkin and the menu just to get a little nostalgic about, say goodbye to the wonderful week on the Rhine.
Yeah. And I do want to say, too, I want to put this in, that one of the evenings on board Ama Christina, we'll take care of everything. We will have opportunity to eat in a very small private dining room at the other side of the ship. It's actually at the stern of the ship, where it's a very intimate group of, I think, maybe 25 or 30 people. The chef is right there, preparing right there, and we get to do it one time during the cruise, and it is really very, very special. It's like, if you think dining in the main dining room is beautiful, because let me just make sure everybody realizes there's maybe going to be 120, 130 people on the ship in terms of guests. That's it. So to have an even more intimate dining experience at this special restaurant is great. We'll take care of the reservations there.
And I just want to say, we happened to eat at the restaurant the very first night. Right. It just so happened that that's the night that we picked. And the people that we ate with at that table the very first night were our new friends through the whole thing. And we ended up serendipitously eating with them the very last night and looking at each other like we couldn't even believe that we ended up back together, because it was
like summer camp.
Yeah.
That's
and I have Amsterdam.
Pardon?
Amsterdam.
And we're on to Amsterdam. And are we talking about more about Amsterdam, or
are we?
Well, the great part about Amsterdam is that we do overnight there, because we don't leave until the 8th day, so we'll be there early enough.
We will get a tour.
They include a tour, as you know, Sherry, a boat tour, because that's how you tour Amsterdam. If you've never been to Amsterdam, folks,
I haven't.
It's mind-boggling. There's way more bicycles and boats than cars. Why would you drive? It's the, what do they say, Sherry? It's the Venice of
the Netherlands.
Of Europe.
Venice of the North.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to watch out for the bicycles. Some people call them mosquitoes, because they're buzzing in and out, and you can't really see when they're coming up the side of you. And it's amazing. They have parking garages just for bicycles.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's also fun when we go through the canals to see all the river boats. So many people live on the boats, and some are gloriously decorated. Some are huge. Some are small. It's just a fascinating place, and of course, a great place to have cheese. And you can wander in a cafe and have other things as well. It's a fascinating place, but it's fun. And Yeah, but we're not going to go into any surprises that we have planned. We'd have certainly at least two. It wouldn't be a surprise if we told everybody. But is there anything last things you want to say about Amsterdam? Because we're at the 30-minute mark, and I just want to open up for Q&A. And yeah,
Yep,
well,
perfect.
there's a lot. Yeah, we shared a lot.
No, Amsterdam is wonderful. To just explore on the boat, or just you can walk just around the area a little bit. There's not much to see right around where the ships dock, so the water tour is a good way to go.
Right. Right.
And the train station is
yeah, they had a transfer in, I remember, because I enjoy walking, so I walked in, but you could also take transportation in to be able to go into the city, and they have markets there. It's just really beautiful, and it'll be spring, so I'm sure we'll see flowers in bloom too. So here's the deal. I would try to stay true to our word. We covered a lot here, but I want to see if anyone has any questions or comments that they'd like to type in now, and we'll again, like we did last week, we'll do the countdown, so we're not keeping here any longer than we need to, but we want to make sure we attend to your questions. And while you're thinking of questions, and while you're typing them in,
type in some questions.
Yeah, I just want to let you all know that we've got another meeting next Wednesday. Very grateful that you're all here. Very, very grateful. This has been recorded and will be posted on YouTube. So again, if you have any friends, any of your friends or any of your family who you may want to travel with you, let us know, because I would need to add staterooms. I want to make sure we can accommodate everybody before they open it up for public sale. Next Wednesday is a really big day because we will have finalized the rates, Sherry. We will have finalized it all, and they're going to be really, really extraordinary. And also just give you more information about payment and deposit and stuff. It's going to be very similar to what the Alma Waterways typical plan is. And I know you're going to be happy with the package. If you're not already logged in to our Facebook group, please do so, because we are making posts there. And know that you have full and total access to Sherry. And so Sherry, I want to thank you so much. We are so excited to be traveling with you. And I want to make sure everybody knows, if they didn't hear it on our first session, I would like to be able to say that we're sending you on a secret scouting mission in November to check it out before we get there. It's true, but not entirely true, because you are traveling. What ship are you going? And I understand our friend, the executive VP and co-owner, will be cruising with you.
Oh, Christina's going to go with you beyond that?
Christine's going to be there. Her mom's coming with too, actually.
Wow.
So that should be kind of fun. It's the exact same trip, except for the Mannheim part. We go to a different city, but otherwise everything's the same. I'm going to scout around and get updates on things and find out if there's any points of interest that I need to make note of or arrange and things of that nature. So if you have any questions about any of those cities except Mannheim, and I can still answer questions on that, just let me know. Let Stuart know, or Kimberly, and I'll be happy to help with whatever questions you might have.
Yep.
I've done this itinerary. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I've done this 6 times. So 6 times. So except for Mannheim, I know this trip pretty well.
Yeah.
That's great.
I get confused with all the castles.
Yeah, to have you there with us and to help us, so you know what's around the corner. You know the things not to miss, because you've been there so many times. Yeah. It's going to make our trip just elevated to even higher levels. It will be just wonderful to have you there. We're going to have a great time. All right. Well, here I don't see any.
No questions.
Nobody's typing any questions. So we're going to bid you adieu. We're going to thank you very, very much for being here this evening. We're going to give you a 10-second countdown. Sherry, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. It was great to meet you, sort of, kind of, and at least share what I know about these places with you. Again, any questions, just fire away.
And Sherry, just so you know, Sherry's website is cruisemaven.com, and your email address is Sherry, S-H-E-R-R-Y, Sherry @cruisemaven.com. So you can go direct to the source here, because don't ask me. Ask Sherry. She's been there 6 times.
Sure, send me an email. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, and Pete and Carol say, great job. Thanks. Very informative. It is a pleasure. Thanks, everybody.